Hey guys, it's Shah here, the Tech Pork, and in this video we're going to be doing a challenge program, and this time the challenge is to make a program that uses a function to create files with where the person can add content and data, so they can enter the data and make a name for the file. And it's a simple TXT file, nothing complicated. And let's do it. And this is one of the challenge from Microsoft as well. It's like from the tutorials for Python programming course. And you should look into that as well. I'll link that in my description. Anyways, let's get down to this challenge. Let's do it. So, if we want to let the user enter some data, we have to first let them enter data. So it's like fname, so that's the name of the file, is equal to input. They need to enter name of the file, name of file, okay. And then data is the stuff they're gonna enter, input, and then you have enter data. Now we're going to use a define function. Now define function, you can make a function and then call it. So define write to file, okay, and in the parameters you want to have your variables that you need to enter, right? Wait, before I do that, let's just do f is equal to open, and then in this we can give a name to the file. So we can call it file name. Let's not use capitals. File name, and we open it in W+, which means that it will create the file for you, which is pretty useful as well. And then over here we have the data that you want to be entered into the system, so file name over here. And then the other one we need is content, which is the stuff that's written. So then you want to do f.write, and then you want to put the content stuff in there, content, and then you go boom, and then you go f.close, then there, and that's really that, guys. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just run it just to check if the fname and data actually work, and if it does take inputs or not. Let's just save this. Anything. I gave a really bad name. I just couldn't think of anything at this point, but you know. So name of file. Let's call it hey and 1 3. Okay, so it's taken in the data, but it hasn't actually done anything because we haven't called this define function. So if we do write to file now, and make sure that the person writes .txt in the end, please. So we get them to write .txt in the end, please. So we're telling them to make sure they write .txt, so we don't have to actually put in the program. Nothing too complicated. We can add on if we want to as well. For now, I'm just sticking to this. Then we have a file name. Sorry, not file name. Fname, because that's the input we want to put in. And then after that, comma data, and that's it. So if I do Control Save and then run F5, so as you can see, it says name of file.txt in the end, please. So we can call it let's call it something. We need a.txt. Okay, I have a slash there. a.txt. I'll put in qwrty. So that's our data we just entered. Now to make sure that we actually got that data, now if I go to my Python folder, it should form an i.txt. As you can see, it forms that folder and it puts in qwerty. So our program is very much successful and it's working. So now all I'm gonna say is the step of thinking required to do this task. Now it's not a very complicated task. It's pretty straightforward. So if you think about it, first we just got two inputs, one for the name of the file and the other one is for the data. So now after that, what we did was we created a define function where we took in the name of the file and then we took in content, and we have to keep these variables separate to this one because we have to enter this within the define function so it can be used within this. It sounds long, but it's straightforward. So we're using the data inside of the content, which is used to be written inside of the file, and that's how it works. So data is a string, and therefore content would be a string as well, because we're letting data equal content in this case. And that's it really, guys. And yeah, so now over here we just did the straightforward thing where we opened the file and we put it in W+ mode, which is the write plus, and it lets you make a new file, and in this case we did .txt because we specified .txt in the end. And if you don't add .txt, it's going to create something like this. So I've tried this earlier. I just called it something random. So I called it this H, and as you can see that it just says file. There's no actually extension to the file. So if I rename this and put a .txt, it will become a txt file. As you can see, it's become a txt file content, which I made earlier just to check it out. But as you can see, you have to add that .txt. The extension is needed to say what type of file it is. And that's really it, to be honest. And make sure you always close your files when you start it, so in case you create another file and or you want to open another file, I guess. And that's really it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe.